March Madness. Scene setter, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I can't do it because of my voice. My voice is fucking shot from the weekend, from allergies, from all sorts of things. But I guess it shows that my voice shows how amazing the first fucking round was. The first 2 rounds of this tournament, right?
Yes.
Not just, and this the voice isn't just from the games that we were at, and we're gonna get into that, right? But
yeah,
it's just
a
from
weekend
screaming at games in general, screaming at the Korean barbecue place / nightclub.
It is a long weekend.
Long fucking weekend of basketball. Lots of unexpected shit happening. Madness. March Madness.
It is what it says it is.
Lived up to the hype.
Yeah.
I had fun. Did you have fun?
I had the utmost fun.
What was your favorite part of the weekend? Of the basketball weekend?
Basketball weekend? Besides going to
the game.
Besides going there and being there with my friends and drinking a lot of beer, was the one Chattanooga fan in the 4 surrounding sections screaming the entire game.
Yeah.
And that just it felt like it was me.
You got to see yourself.
I got to see myself, and it was fucking awesome.
Represented.
He was starting chants.
Nobody was listening to him.
There's this one guy that every time he would chant, he would go, "Shut up."
There were a lot of geezers in the crowd that were just trying to watch the game as it was meant to be played.
I was going to do a shoey with this kid's shoe if I caught it one more time. This baby's shoe just kept falling in our road. I was like, I'm going to do a shoey next time it falls.
She dropped her...
No, she dropped it one more time, and nobody would give me I was dead ass about to do it. The dad laughed, and the parents would have been fine with me doing a shoey out of the baby's kid.
I seriously doubt they would have.
I told them I was gonna fucking do it.
I think that would have been a bad idea.
Bring a fucking 2-year-old to a goddamn basketball game.
She kept dropping her fidget spinner. They were Chattanooga fans too, so.
I found out that I don't like Chattanooga fans.
No, me neither.
They fucking suck.
Definitely not. So, yeah, I guess we can. We'll just jump right into that experience. We should talk a little bit about experiencing. We talk a lot about games that we watch on TV, right? But we actually got to experience the madness.
Yeah, it's not often that that we really talk about the games that we go to that often. Especially, as a neutral, I don't think this has ever happened.
No.
Especially no West Virginia. Just having to experience what a game is like.
Yeah.
I guess.
So we went to, for those of you who don't know, first and second rounds in Pittsburgh. We went to see Illinois play Chattanooga, awesome game. Houston then played UAB, and it sucked. Other teams, that game was horrible, but we were so drunk it really didn't matter.
It really didn't. We weren't watching anyways.
It was fun. It was fun to see as a neutral, all of the other teams' fans that were there, around the arena. So Villanova played, Ohio State played, Loyola Chicago played, Delaware played, Villanova got smoked. I didn't see any Delaware people, but so there were 8 teams there.
There was a lot of West Virginia fans too.
And there were a lot of
Pitt fans.
I was repping the Press Virginia. That got some conversations going. That was fun. We went to the bar. That bar across the street was was
shitty. First of all,
beers
were more expensive there. Their cheapest beer was technically more expensive by ounce than the beers inside PPG Paints.
That is true. This is a Super Bowl hate podcast. Soup spelled like
SOUPER.
But I saw no soup.
No soup.
That kind of got me excited. I think they could have ramped it up with maybe at least a chili or something if they're going to be the Super Bowl.
The good soup meme, not meant for that place.
No, but still got to mingle with the fans of the teams. I think that's where we figured out. Is that where we figured out we didn't really like Chattanooga fans?
Oh yeah, the bar. I instantly knew. I was like, where the fuck even is Chattanooga? And these people just fucking sucked.
Yeah.
I wanted Chattanooga to win going into it. And then, like, the second I get to, like, downtown Pittsburgh, I was like, I don't know. I think I'd take it back.
Yeah, they were obnoxious. There was something about them I didn't like. I think we kind of got the perfect outcome with them covering but losing.
Yeah.
So we got to win and they lost.
Yeah. And Illinois won.
And Illinois won, but Illinois still let me down.
They're not good, by the way.
They let me down. We called that one at the Illinois game. They're losing the next game.
Yeah, they're
like we have record of this.
Yeah,
right?
we literally said they're losing the next game. They fucking suck.
I think if we could go to every game in person, I think gambling would be so much easier.
You know what? I hate to say it, but like the people that call games and stuff like that, and they're physically at the game, like I have to start like taking that into account, like what they're going to say about the next game's performance, because it's so true. Like whenever you watch something in person and as a neutral, it's like you can actually see it. Like there was a point at which there was like 3 or 4 Illinois players just like not playing offense, and they were like all behind the 3-point line, like on like the other side, like not like the corner 3. It was like they were like 10 feet back. I'm just watching fucking what's-his-face trying to do work in the paint.
Yeah, it was lackadaisical from Illinois, and Chattanooga also is a bad team. I mean, we went
not good.
We went like 8 minutes without any buckets, and like Illinois would just chuck some shit up and then kind of play good defense, but Chattanooga didn't know how to take shot. They didn't know how to play basketball. I think that's always one of your favorite criticisms of teams. Chattanooga is a classic team that
actually doesn't know how to play basketball.
Somehow was in the NCAA tournament, did not know how to play basketball.
I feel like that happens very frequently because you have teams like, I always go back to this team because it's so relevant, and it's that Alabama basketball team. Like, there's some people that have, it's like the Steph Curry effect, where they can somehow hit these insane shots. They have no physical concept of, like, how to move around on a basketball court. But if they get the ball in their hands, in their mind, 40% of the time, all of the time, they're going to make a 3. And, but it's actually like 20.
They get volume.
Yeah.
And so they make these insane threes because they all just kind of hang out around the perimeter.
Yeah.
It's like 4 and then 1
4 and 1.
But they don't move or anything.
Yeah.
And we saw Alabama lost. So
yeah.
Chattanooga was shitty in a different way.
They're shitty in a different. They're like not good.
They didn't know how to.
Alabama's a Power 5 school, and then like Chattanooga's like not even like a mid-tier program.
Southern Conference or something?
Yeah, like
ass.
I don't know. Ass.
I don't know. We loved the cover, though. That was electric.
Yeah,
Posted
that was
a video
nice.
of that. That was nice. Yeah. Bucket list activity.
Houston better than...
Yeah, Houston bang. That's a solid squad.
That's a dub.
They
we weren't hot on
get
them.
in your shorts.
We weren't hot on them. The second I saw... The second the Illinois game ended... And the second we got back in our seats for the first half for the Houston game because we missed the first 7 minutes.
Yep, we were drinking heavily.
Drinking some beers. The second that we got back, I saw the score, and then the vibe of the players that Houston has. There's a confidence in what they play with.
They were men.
Yeah.
Like they there was never a doubt. They never sweat. It didn't even look like they sweat in that game.
They look like they play basketball. That's the thing. Like sometimes teams just don't look like they know how to play basketball, and that happens a lot.
They're big as fuck. They
Houston
move the
knows
ball.
how to play basketball.
They get in your shorts on defense and they rebound. They're an old school. They're like a dad's basketball.
And it works.
Style
it's
team.
how it's supposed to be played.
And
it's the fundamentals.
They are going to the Sweet 16.
Yeah,
so,
gotta love it.
Good time. Shout out to PPG Paints.
We can just run through that conference too.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So with that wrapped up, we should do Classic Nice Guys review preview.
Review preview South.
So what you can just we're just kind of gonna freeform this. What sticks out in your mind from the South, and then we'll preview the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 games in the South region. Where the fuck?
I'll say we
were
half right about the 8-9 matchups, and the Seton Hall TCU game was actually the game that I didn't think was ever going to hit, and it did.
So we got the numbers right with how many 8
Yeah,
seeds won and 9
so we
seeds
got
won?
Creighton winning was the 9 seed, and then we got Memphis winning, but then Seton Hall lost, or Seton Hall lost.
Fucking
Oh wait,
insane.
TC.
69-42.
It was actually like lopsided.
Biggest blowout.
1-8-1.
What?
Only 1-8 seed won.
Okay, so what you're saying is
Yeah, the
right off the bat, we were completely wrong.
No, I said 9 seeds win 54% of the time, and actually it was probably about correct historically.
No, they won. So they won 75% of these games.
Yeah, but like some years, like some years, like an 8 seed will win 3. Like it all equals up.
Okay, well,
It's 9-side heavy.
yeah. I'll walk back what I say about Jamie Dixon. I think Jamie Dixon is a March guy now. He just has to be playing from a lower seed. He just has to have no expectations.
Yeah, but they lost to fucking Arizona. And he's not a March guy. He won 1 game
Who's supposed to lose?
against an equal opponent.
He
won in a coin flip.
He was supposed to lose 69-42.
He won on a coin flip.
They gave up 42 points to a Big East team. It's
A coin
incredible. It's a coin flip that Jamie Dixon took
He's
out
not,
of the air.
You're not a
and
March.
smashed
You're not a
into the
March
ground.
guy if you win 1 game.
Yet to be seen. How about that?
No, it is to be seen. He never has done shit.
Leave the door open for Jamie Dixon, who was impressive and took Arizona to the fucking wire. That one was probably like the game of the tournament.
The real question is like maybe game of the tournament, but like what's going to happen with the next game, Houston versus Arizona, 2 good teams. Like that might be one of the best, if not the best, Sweet 16 matchup that we have.
Yeah, that's spread wise. I think that's the closest one. Houston is a 2-point underdog.
Is Texas Tech Duke up there
right now? Actually, I take that back. Texas Tech is a 1-point favorite over Duke, so that's actually the closest.
But I think this one's will
but
be a better
Arizona
game.
Houston is a totally electric matchup, and I'm selling Arizona stock. I was really high on them, but they just couldn't seem to put anything together against TCU.
And we should have seen the signs. There were so many historical facts that said Houston was going to not only go to the Final Four but to win it all because of like historical facts.
Are you calling Houston to win it all right now?
Dude, I actually might because like it's kind of clear they're a good team. They're about to beat a 1 seed. If Villanova somehow like gets upset by Michigan, but who knows what the fuck's going to happen with them at this point. Like, Houston smashes Michigan.
So here's my problem. Here's my only problem with Houston. They are on a fucking roll. The question coming in, the reason that I picked Illinois over Houston was that Houston had only played they'd only played 2 different tournament teams. They lost to Wisconsin, who is already out of the tournament, and they lost twice and beat once Memphis. So it took them until literally last week to beat a tournament team when they beat Memphis in the conference championship game. I don't know if I can say that a trending down, beaten up Illinois squad is that petty? This feels like I'm making up.
Yeah, I feel like you're just I feel like we were high on Illinois, and the second like they fucking suck ass. Like you can say trending down, sure, but like the second they suck ass, like we're off the train at this point, just to cover saying Houston's not going to beat Arizona.
Because like I like Houston's style of play, just their style of play,
but
right?
like they have age. They were there last year.
Yeah, don't have Grimes, but
yeah, they were there last year,
and they're grown ass men.
They're grown ass men,
and they proved
know how to play
and
basketball.
they showed against Illinois that their style could hold up against All-American center.
But if you
one of the biggest dudes in the NCAA, they can still bang with him. So
that's true. And also, if you look at it, they're going to be dogs for this game, and if they win and Villanova wins, they'll be dogs the next game. And then that's a good thing, is betting on the underdog at this point, because like they what? They get a Kansas team. They get a fucking Iowa State team. Like, who fucking knows? Iowa State could fucking...
I don't think they're going to get Iowa State. I think I'd love Houston there, though. But let's go down to the bottom of that bracket. Loyola Chicago ended up... I fucking knew that shit was bait.
It was bait.
It was bait the whole time.
And the whole world took the bait.
And the problem is... So, looking at the final score now... That game was a little bit closer than the final score suggests. Loyola only scored 41 points. I like Loyola. That's a team who knows how to play basketball, but doesn't know how to make shots.
I disagree. I was going to say they looked worse than Chattanooga. That was the first game I'd watched, March Madness.
Disagree.
Or is that the first game?
That was the first game of Friday. So
okay, no, I remember watching that one Friday, and Ohio State, 1, not good. 2, Loyola is very not good.
I disagree. I like the way that they were moving the ball. They were getting good shots. They were just missing. So maybe that makes them a bad team.
Bro, they scored 41 points.
I know. It was the most...
They scored less than fucking Seton Hall did.
I know.
You can't defend
They
that.
also held Ohio State to 54 and turned them over a lot.
I've never heard someone call someone who's a team that scored 41 points a good team.
I didn't say... I never said that. I said they're a team who knows how to play basketball but not make shots.
It seems like they know how to play basketball less than every other team in March Madness. The object of the game is to score points, and
that's why I said that they don't know how to make shots.
I don't know.
So you're missing.
There's more to basketball than.
But they're gone.
I don't know.
Both of those teams are gone. It's Villanova and Michigan. Michigan getting the upset over
Twice.
Tennessee.
Twice. Colorado State.
They were favored.
But still.
They're favored.
11-6,
Yeah,
which we called they shouldn't
really
even be an
matter.
11 seed. That's what we said. We said they were overseeded.
And I'll eat my words on that. And Vegas loves Michigan right now for some reason.
And then they fucking pooped on Tennessee too.
Yeah, I still like Villanova.
Villanova's gonna shit on them.
I still like Villanova
What's the
a
spread
lot.
on that?
5.
I'm betting on that.
I
If I have money in my account.
I still like Villanova a lot. Again, we just trust Jay Wright. I don't know if Delaware is a horrible team, but they did take care of business. They beat the hell out of Ohio State. What?
Jay Wright, a March coach, tournament guy. Jamie Dixon, not a tournament guy.
Sure. Juwan Howard? ?
Actually, maybe that. Honestly, that fucking that game, the first Colorado State, that was unbelievable coaching.
He brought him back.
It was so nuts. He noticed what was it was the change of style of play. They went to zone. He was apparently they haven't practiced zone at all or some shit. They don't practice zone. And he was we're going zone because we're getting our ass kicked. They went zone and went on an 18-0 run or some shit.
Yeah.
It was literally stupid.
Yeah. And not only that, but then in the next game, in the Tennessee game, he all of a sudden has redeemed himself for getting in consecutive fights with coaches in 2 consecutive seasons by hugging Kennedy Chandler and the Tennessee player that was crying and hugging him while the cameras were on him, and probably my guess is whispering in his ear, "You're making me so much money right now. I'm just gonna keep hugging you. I don't give a fuck. You can walk your ass home. We're hugging right now. You understand me?"
The best coaches of all time have all had instances of, "I'm going to be the biggest asshole that exists in college basketball at this moment." Knight, Krzyzewski, Huggins. Howard hit a guy.
The biggest asshole?
You know what I'm saying? Hitting somebody. Or throwing a chair.
Bob Huggins never hit anyone.
He's throwing chairs.
Mike Krzyzewski is a psycho, but
he's been an asshole. Knight's thrown chairs.
So what's your point?
I'm saying Izzo's hit a guy, right? Izzo hit a player, or pushed a player or some shit. Remember that?
Okay, that's different from...
I'm saying Howard hits a coach fuck it, he hit a coach.
Twice, two consecutive
Who gives
years.
a fuck? That's the sign of a good coach, is being a bad guy.
Is hitting it? No, it's a sign of being a good coach is fighting other coaches.
Yes.
I guess it shows that you care.
Yeah, it does. He gives a fuck. Like, the best coaches give a fuck. Huggins' last game of the season, worst fucking season we've had in forever. He was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get ejected in the first 6 minutes.
I guess if it fires up the lads, but
yeah,
that's a bit extreme to start swinging on people.
Hey,
but,
he hit a bitch.
But I don't know. Now that we're talking about it, maybe I like Michigan. Because I like Michigan's wins better than Villanova's. Like, I like Colorado State and Tennessee are objectively, both of those are better wins than Ohio State, and then obviously better than Delaware. You know what I'm saying?
But like season long. Like, Villanova's coming off the perfect ending to a season.
I mean,
Michigan was actually like trending low.
we'll put it this way. They're both on fire.
Villanova's on fire.
Villanova's on fire, but their competition level has been lower. Michigan gets bounced early from
But that's what happens when you're a high seed, though. That's like the worst argument for it, is your competition's been lower. Like, if you're an 11 seed, obviously your competition's always going to be higher. There's not much like higher it can go.
Well, but I mean, like Colorado State is a 6 seed, Ohio State's a 7 seed. That's not that much difference in seeding, but Colorado State is a much better team.
Yeah, but like Tennessee's a 3 seed, Delaware's a 15. There's nothing you can like do to.
Well, I'm not saying it's there. I'm just saying that's what happened.
Are you taking Michigan?
I'm just saying. I'm just setting up. Look, I'm a journalist. I'm just setting up the storylines here. You know,
fair enough.
It evens it out. Like if Michigan had an easier road. I'm just setting up a case for Michigan because I like Villanova in this game.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving them a little slack. Let's do a different. Let's do a different region.
Midwest.
Which one you want to do?
Midwest. Let's just go.
Which one's that? That one's in.
Yeah, it's on the right, bottom right.
Chicago. They're playing this in Chicago.
Kansas.
I'll never. Sorry, but I will never trust. Like this is like a to the grave thing. Even though it's only 2 years, I'll never trust Iowa basketball again. I don't care who they have.
Will either.
Never.
I agree. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a goddamn. Hey, if there's anybody who's an idiot, I had Iowa, I had Illinois, I had fucking Kentucky. I'm a fucking idiot.
Everybody had Kentucky. It's also the tournament. It doesn't really.
I know. Well, that's what happens when you don't watch college basketball for a whole year.
And then try to cram.
Yeah.
You know who I do like in this region?
Who do we like?
And trust.
Kansas.
And they're going to break our hearts.
Kansas?
Providence.
Honestly, I didn't watch a single I watched part of the Richmond game, but I didn't watch South Dakota State. There's other games on that I wanted to watch. And I saw a little bit of the Richmond game. So I haven't seen too much of the Providence team in the tournament.
So I found out a cool stat that South Dakota State, like small conference and everything, but first of all, they were only 2-point underdogs. Vegas knew something. Statistically, the number one 3-point shooting team in the country. The most threes, the best percentage from three, the best in the country. Providence shut them down. They held them to 57 points. That's pretty. That's pretty impressive. Good. After all the talk all year about Providence being the luckiest KenPom team, Providence, I feel like I was worried about how they were going to come out and respond to that, and they crushed it. You know what I'm saying? Like they said, "You say we're lucky. Fuck you. We're going to win these games." And they destroyed Richmond.
How do they match up versus Kansas? Like, realistically, does Providence have a chance?
Well, of course.
Everybody has a chance, but do they have, like, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody has a chance. So Providence is big man. Providence has a big man who's like an undersized big man, but I love him. And I am really excited to see him go against Abaji. Undersized, Kansas is bigger, but anything can happen. And they're in Providence. That's a team that's on a tear against a Kansas team that had a little slip up against Creighton, who just decided to play lockdown. What do you like?
I don't know. That's why I haven't watched Kansas play at all. I haven't watched Providence play at all. There's just been better games. Like this, I knew this was going to be the shitty part of the tournament is the Midwest. The Midwest has fucking sucked. I mean, look at the games. Like fucking LSU. LSU fucking
A lot of
sucks.
upsets, though.
Upsets, but like they're all bad. Like
It was
we knew
shitty teams, though. This was, you remember, we talked about the
Yeah, the shitty
bottom
teams.
part of the Midwest bracket was like the shittiest shit.
Horrible. Like Auburn, I can't like. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Kansas, Providence. I mean, I always go the better team in this case if I had known nothing.
This is the Kansas spot, though.
Yeah.
They always a 1 seed, and then Sweet 16 just get fucking rocked.
It could be the
Like-
Friars' day.
Like this is like this. I think this game is worrisome because I think Kansas like destroys like Richmond or South Dakota State if one of those teams go through. But like a 4 seed, like I wouldn't see Kansas getting upset by a team like that. I totally see them getting
That's why
upset by a
Iowa
team
would
like
have been a
Providence.
perfect team.
And Iowa, I know, and
That's
Iowa
so
would have been the
fucking
perfect
annoying.
fucking team.
They weren't even that bad. By the way, they actually were pretty good in that game. And Richmond, I hate to say it, was actually like really good.
Yeah.
In that game.
Yeah, they fought.
And
I still fuck Iowa though. Fuck you.
which says a lot about Providence, to be honest, because Providence beat them by
Smoked them.
28.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's actually kind of nuts.
What about the bottom half of the bracket?
Bottom half,
Bottom
Iowa,
half of the Midwest. This was,
Iowa State, Wisconsin,
excuse me,
was-
upset city.
54-49. Another game that couldn't crack 115 points.
Pointed out that this game was so bad offensively, and also it's Iowa versus Michigan in Wisconsin, or Iowa versus Wisconsin in Wisconsin. This game felt racist to watch. It was so slow.
Who was it? Someone said it was the worst college basketball game of all time.
It was horrible. Nobody could make shots. People were making free throws, but not shots. It was a very traditional game, if you know what I'm saying. So fucking boring.
9 white guys on the court.
Just
There was a game with that. I forget which one it was.
dudes all over the court too. Like turnover city, which is weird for Wisconsin. That's why Iowa State got them. Like Wisconsin was totally off their game from the jump because they started turning the ball over, and that's how they got there. Miami, I'm super high on Miami. I called them against USC. I had them. I had Auburn in my bracket, but I bet. I take that back. I had Miami beating Auburn, and I bet on them, and they advance. Auburn exposed as frauds. Bruce Pearl is like the new like scam artist of college basketball.
So you have Miami
Shit
over
team.
Iowa State.
So I think I do. In my bracket, I had Miami, Wisconsin, and I had Wisconsin winning. But yeah, I definitely have Miami over Iowa State. The Miami against Auburn. I don't know if you saw that game, but
No.
like Auburn's whole thing, like all year, was just like dominating you with their size or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Miami was totally undersized. And their guards just did unbelievable athletic shit to get up and around and over, and it was a show. It was fantastic.
You know what they say
It was
about
electric.
March? It's the month of guards.
Yeah, exactly. No,
And like if you don't have good guards, there's a reason why Villanova like the past 10 years
Yep.
has been so good in the
Yep.
tournament. It's because they're good guards.
Yep. Look at Illinois. Your best player can't be a big man.
It can't be a big man. And if you look at other teams too, like Kansas has always been guard heavy. Who's another guard heavy team? Gonzaga's just good.
Well, Gonzaga's guard heavy. Kansas hasn't been though. They had Ellis and McCormick and guys like that.
Houston was guard heavy. But yeah, Purdue kind of big man, but still
Big man, but kind of goes through Ivy.
yeah.
They like Ivy
Yeah.
is the March guy.
Yeah.
But so Kind of makes me worried. Kind of makes me worried for Arizona because they've been giving in the tournament. They've been giving a lot of work to their two big men.
I'm telling you, Houston.
Their two guys down low. But what do you like? You like Miami?
I have, again, this is a section of the bracket I haven't watched. I've watched the other side more. But I'm going to back you and say Miami. But either way, both teams lose to whoever wins Kansas-Providence.
Yeah, if Kansas can't make it to the Final Four when their opponents are Providence, Iowa State, and Miami.
Bill Self.
Dude, like, again, they'll probably never fire him, but holy shit. When are they going to, when? If not now, when?
It's so easy.
This is a platter.
Yeah.
This is insane if they were to fuck this up.
It's like what we said about, like, Gonzaga and Baylor and their sides of the brackets last year. Is like, if you don't.
Yeah, if not now, when?
Like, if you don't make it there, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so true. Like, this is like one of those situations where everything just, like, sits on your lap. And it's just like waiting. I mean, Providence is a challenge, to be fair. But like, if Providence, like, if you lose to Providence, I guess you have an excuse. But like, if you beat Providence and lose to fucking Iowa State or Miami, like, that's an issue.
Tough. Like the narrative is already there, and so now it's just solidifying, and who knows when they'll get over the hump.
Either
anyways,
way.
Kansas, good luck.
Yeah, we could go to the West and top of the West. Start Gonzaga's OP.
So chalk region.
Yeah,
Gonzaga, Arkansas, Texas Tech, Duke.
Which we all called.
What early games stuck out to you in the West? Teddy Buckets.
Yeah, New Mexico State UConn was a good game that I did watch, and
how fucking weird was
or
that?
a bit.
How fucking weird was that to see Teddy Buckets?
I turned it on after someone said something
like that.
And
that was
I
insane.
was like, holy fuck!
And he was going off like Teddy Buck. I mean, he was flexing. He was getting into it with people. He's cut as fuck now.
Well,
Did
it's
you
probably
see
all the jail time.
Yes. Well, so everybody, I had people talking shit to me about WVU losing Teddy Buckets. Well, he went to jail I don't think he would be on a basketball team.
That's like saying Justin Crawford should have came back and coached for.
He beat the shit out of his girlfriend, and I'm supposed to feel bad for losing this guy? No. Like, I also wasn't rooting for him. It was kind of interesting to see, but I feel like nobody knew the backstory except for WVU fans. Like the media was just glowing about Teddy Allen.
They're like, Teddy Allen.
It's like, little do you know.
Google's his name.
Well, it's like that meme that's like, never ask a man his salary, never ask a woman her age. And then it's like, never ask Teddy Buckets why he's played on 4 college basketball teams in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Never ask Teddy Buckets why his name comes up in an arrest.
He was always
search.
a bucket. He was always a bucket.
Always his game.
I remember
right?
we always talked about, and it was always infuriating too the way he played. But,
he had no game outside of going to the rim and getting buckets, which is kind of respectable.
Yeah, or like a pull up too that like.
But rarely. He always just took you on.
It was like I'm taking you this way. And then, like, gonna be 10 feet from the rim. And,
yeah.
Like, put it in. Yeah. But anyways, but the game I was watching where I was switching back and forth because it was a good game was the Memphis-Boise State game.
Yes.
That was a good game.
Yes. I was sweating my ass off. I had Memphis -2. I had Memphis in my bracket. And Boise State, the Memphis wins by 11, but they came back. They were down 20 and got it within 4 or 5 or something like that. And that game was in Portland. So, like, it was all Boise State fans. Like, it was like a Boise State home game. I don't know how many fans Memphis even has.
Should have had a purple court.
But purple.
Boise State.
Purple. Purple?
Are they purple?
Blue.
I've always thought they were purple.
Boise State, the one fact that everybody knows about Boise State is that they're famous for having a literal blue football field.
Purplish blue.
Well, you're also colorblind.
Yeah.
So we won't hold that against you, but that's
I mean, I've never looked up their color code, so like.
that's sort of shocking. I don't think you need to know the color code to see the blue, but we can move on. Two purple teams. Memphis is also purple.
No, they're blue.
So it was. So you see Memphis, but you don't see Boise State.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not how that works. First of all,
Does the orange fuck you up?
I don't know. But just keep talking about it.
I think that's all there is to say about that. Good job, Penny. And they took Gonzaga to the wire, so maybe Penny is actually going to get it started. Memphis is a team that you see it now. You see the blue field.
It is blue.
Yeah.
But see, it looks purple.
No, not really.
That looks purple.
Anyways,
Memphis
is good for college basketball, and I'm so glad that Penny is getting. I think they should come to the Big 12 just as a basketball team.
I have said this for the longest of time,
Yeah.
and this is why I was cool with. That's why I said WVU should have went to the American, but
Small time for us. Memphis should come over. They're good.
We need to just go backwards.
They're good. They're good for basketball. They have a lot of local guys on their team. They were interviewing a guy, and he had like a super Memphis accent. It was really cool. He said like he grew up watching in Memphis, like watching Derrick Rose, and
they also took Gonzaga to the wire too.
You just repeated exactly what I just said.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You're too busy looking at Eastern Washington's red field. I saw you little sneaker. Look up Memphis's court. Look up Memphis's home court while you're at it.
All right.
But Vermont moved down. Vermont takes Arkansas to the wire. Everybody had Vermont. That's one that I took Arkansas in because I was skeptical because that was another one that everybody had. Vermont just plays such a low level of competition. There it is. Yeah, Memphis, one of the worst courts in the world.
All time.
We called Alabama from a mile away. We said Rutgers or Notre Dame. Don't know who's going to win. Doesn't matter. They're beating Alabama.
That was spot on, to be honest. Actually, I wasn't too high on Notre Dame, but you said Notre Dame, so I backed you.
I said either one.
Yeah, I backed you. It said the Rutgers situation. It wasn't Rutgers, but...
What is it?
The Rutgers situation.
Oh, yeah. Texas Tech handles business. Texas Tech is super confirmed. It's crazy that they're favored against Duke.
They should be. I don't think it's crazy.
It might be a smash and it might be bait, but when you think about the two teams, Texas Tech has like multiple guys that can match up with Banchero. And like Duke, like that's how they've won games all year. Is Banchero like matchup nightmare because he's like an NBA swingman type dude with a big body. Texas Tech is just made out of dudes like that. They can't play offense like him. So like that's if they did, they'd be the number one team in the country. But they can't play offense. But they're all just his body and like pure defensive players.
Can we take a second and admire after losing Chris fucking Beard? Texas Tech, like being this fucking good.
Texas Tech better without Chris Beard? ?
Yes.
What if Mark Adams goes to the championship game as well, and Chris Beard's whole legacy is just erased?
That would be even more legendary.
Hilarious, right?
And then Chris Beard goes to Texas,
and Chris Beard is just confused about the whole situation. Like he picked the worst team to go to. Like he could have gone.
It was his dream. It's his dream job.
Shouldn't have gone to Texas Tech then. Sorry.
I guess. I mean, it's a good stepping stone, to be honest. That's good. That's a real good stepping. That's a good resume builder.
But if you just plan to go to Texas the whole time, then for the rest of your life, you're going to be the number one villain of your...
Nah, all Texas Tech fans were like cool. Like they were
what? They sold out? No.
I thought
they sold out. Texas tried... to ban ticket sales for anybody with a West Texas zip code for when Texas Tech was playing in Austin, and Texas Tech fans were buying tickets through other people's phones who lived in Austin and packed Texas's arena for the Texas Tech game.
I thought people were like, fair enough.
They booed Chris Beard when Texas went to Lubbock. They booed him every time he walked on the court. It was the most electric atmosphere of the season. No.
I must have missed this. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember Reddit whenever it happened, and it was like accepting it.
The average, no. That's a heated rivalry now.
Okay.
They hate Chris Beard.
Okay.
And they're probably basking in this whole Mark Adams to the Sweet 16 situation. Chris Beard.
I just think it's a good story, though, just in general. I think that's...
Yeah, all transfers. Something I wanted to mention about another team, Iowa State, made up of all transfers. Iowa State went 2-22 last year, right? Like, they weren't even supposed to make the tournament. They were picked last in the Big 12 this year. First-year head coach, all transfers. It was the worst. It's the worst winning percentage the previous year to go to the Sweet 16 the next year ever.
Like, why doesn't ESPN talk about this shit? Like, this is the type of shit that pisses me off. It's all like a Coach K suckfest, or like
North Carolina.
UNC is the god team. Like, that's a
Well, it's all
Texas
about
Tech,
Coach K.
It's bullshit. Or Gonzaga, or fucking. And if it's not one of those teams, they're sucking off Jay Wright, which fair enough, I would too.
Or Kentucky.
Yeah, it'd be like that. But anyways, yeah, that chalk all the way.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And it's
Yep.
I think it'll be exactly Texas Tech beating Duke and Gonzaga beating Arkansas. And
Might as well keep going chalk if it's been. Might as well. Gonzaga beats Arkansas.
Texas Tech.
Oh, never mind.
Texas Tech.
But they're favorites, so
They're
it's
chalk.
still chalk.
It's still chalk.
So, and then Gonzaga beats Texas Tech.
There's always a chalk. There's always a chalk.
I can't see. I'd probably like cut off one of your fingers to see Texas Tech beat Gonzaga and go to the Final Four, but that's a horrible matchup for
Would you
Texas
lose
Tech.
a nut to watch Texas Tech win the national championship this year?
I'd lose one of yours.
That's not very nice.
So, not my own, but
All right. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Let's go down to the East, the last region, and this was
Philly.
as kind of chalk as it is.
Games in Philly, yo.
Games in Philly, yo.
Turned up all the way. Nah, I'm playing with you. Yeah, let me get a whiz wet now on you.
Ooh, he's from New Jersey. He likes provolone.
He gets provolone on his steak.
On his steak.
This is the Blue Blood. Well, no, not really. The Blue Blood game. North Carolina, UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
How many national championships between those two?
UCLA's probably at like what?
They have
12
like
or 13?
17 or some shit. They literally have. Or no, I'm thinking of like the Lakers.
12 or 13 maybe. And then UNC's probably at like 9 or 8.
11.
UNC?
UCLA has 11.
Okay, so I was pretty close. So
And
11. UNC's at 8 maybe? 7? That might be a little high. But what?
Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good game.
7. You're
Or
right.
7. Yeah, so it's like 19. That's pretty good for me.
Crazy pedigree in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be a good game? I think it will be. I think these are two like if there was ever a time that I could get excited for North Carolina UCLA, like I like these teams.
You called me stupid for picking UCLA in the Elite Eight.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wrong. I liked I went back on my original take about UCLA at the beginning of the year, and I think that they're fucking deadly. They have all the same dudes.
Yeah.
And they have Mick Cronin, most
what I was saying.
underrated coach in college basketball? Question mark.
I said
Looking good.
I said they were a threat to go to the Final Four, and here we are. You made me change my mind, and I fucking picked Kentucky. I was high on Purdue, and you said it's a Kentucky year, and I went back and I changed all my brackets to fucking Purdue losing to Kentucky, and here I am in this one bracket where I didn't fucking change it, and it's like I hit every fucking game besides fucking St. Peter's, which like
I'm just gonna gaslight the hell out of you and say I don't remember picking Kentucky at all. Me, Kentucky? No. I had Purdue St. Peter's. I told you it was between Purdue St. Peter's for this region. I told you.
Baby Billy told me Kentucky was my favorite team.
Ew, please don't do that. But I told you that Purdue when the brackets came out, Purdue St. Peter's would decide the bracket.
Uh,
What do you think?
you're a funny guy.
Who comes out?
That one guy went 4 for 4 in his first round upset picks, and he went 3 for 3 in his second round upset picks on TikTok. We should have just tailed him. He picked St. Peter's. He picked.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool guy who you're not naming or explaining to the listeners anything about.
I don't know anything about.
You didn't even tell me. You're just bringing up a random guy on TikTok.
I sent the TikTok to you, and he picked St. Peter's.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Great. Hey, I saw this one guy on Twitter one time that picked. He had 4 games.
He said it.
We should have just tailed him.
You're.
There's this
asshole,
guy.
dude.
There's this
All
random guy I saw
All right,
one
man.
time.
I'm just gonna sit here and
I like UCLA.
talk about UCLA.
I like UCLA. I think to come out as I'm still gonna keep fading Purdue.
Dude, Johnny Juzang.
They're electric.
Jaime
Jaime Jaquez.
Jaquez.
Great names. Great coach.
Good hair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who do
Tiger Campbell.
Are you taking UCLA?
I think I am because I still can't trust Purdue because of the defense rating on Ken Pom.
So you're taking UCLA all the way.
I think I'll take
What if
it.
St. Peter's fucking does it?
I don't know, but that's fun. So let's talk about Kentucky real quick.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest upset in the history of the tournament.
It's the biggest college basketball upset of all time.
I think it's bigger than Virginia UMBC because I specifically remember when the bracket first came out and I was looking at the games and I saw that Kentucky, like this athletic giant, everybody knows Kentucky has all these dudes and all this money, against St. Peter's. St. Peter's, a team that I can't remember ever being in the tournament. St. Peter's, the school is like one city block.
There's 3,700 students
Right.
that go to that school.
Like St. Peter's basketball to me has always been a meme.
It shouldn't be a D1 school. Like financially, based on the amount of students that go there.
High school gym, they play in a high school gym basically.
It's not as bad as the original picture that came out on Twitter that said this is what their high school gym looks like. They updated it, but
Okay.
still, it's the same shit.
Like they have
new bleachers.
Like they have walls behind the basket.
It looks like a high school. It's the cinder blocks.
And then you have Kentucky, which is probably the most funded basketball program in the country.
There's a difference between $40 million between how much money goes
Yeah.
to each school. It's the biggest. Like for Virginia, there's not that much of a money difference. Virginia
has had a good run in the last couple years. You can never say that they're Kentucky.
UMBC had star prospects on their team, had like a 2-star and a 3-star or whatever. Kentucky had like a combined, they had like 2 5-stars, 3 4-stars, like 6 3-stars. In St. Peter's, there's nothing. They're not. It's not a team.
They're not they're traditionally like one of the worst teams in the MAAC.
It's by far the biggest. It's the biggest upset of all time.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone's talking about it, but I feel like that hasn't been stated enough. This is the biggest upset in college basketball history.
Not even just postseason. I think it's the biggest ever. Because it matters. It's just crazy. It's actually nuts.
Truly couldn't tell you how they did it.
I couldn't tell you how they did it.
And then they beat Murray State, which makes more sense, but still, 15 seed in the Sweet 16. It happened last year with Oral Roberts.
Someone said it was like if your team, it's like all the AAU teams that look like this, and they have that one white guy that white guy's always the best guy on the team, and
Doug Eder. It's so he looks so crazy out there.
It's so stupid.
And he's going against Kentucky.
It is it's some Elmore type shit.
Ridiculous. And Oscar was crying.
Good for him.
Do we want to give some final thoughts on Oscar before do we squash it when he goes to the league?
No, I'm willing to say it right now. Huggins is an idiot.
For what?
I genuinely think that like there's a problem with his management of personalities, and like he can sure get the guys who want to work hard for him and like have bought into the system that he has and like that are willing to play for him. But the problem is that there seems to be a common theme of guys who they can't buy in. It's not the fucking 90s. It's not early 2000s of like, you know, it's one and done now. It's like these guys like have a future to think about, and like Huggins can't seem to get across in his mind that like college basketball isn't the only thing that these guys live for. And so like Oscar Tshiebwe is annoying as fuck. I mean, I think I knew from the first time, like whenever Josiah, you know, brought out the little pamphlet and said, you know, what his celebrity crush is, and it's fucking Millie Bobby Brown when she was 13 years old. I mean, I think I understood.
Wild.
Yeah, I think I understood like what kind of person Oscar Tshiebwe was from like the first time, you know. But like that's the problem. So it's like he doesn't know how to manage people like Oscar.
I would say that he's actually managing personalities by not giving in to Oscar, and he's showing the other 12 guys on the team.
He doesn't win championships. That's why he's never won championships, is because you need to have shitty people on your team. That's just how the fucking world works. Is that shitty? But it's changing those shitty people and making them, there's something that clicks.
I think anybody will tell you that that's actually Huggins' MO. His entire career has been getting the most out of guys.
He gets the most out of guys who have nowhere else to go. He, like, Javon Carter, like, out of high school. Nobody fucking gave a fuck about Javon Carter, and he got the most out of Javon Carter. Now, like, he built that guy, and now look where he is. But Javon bought into the system. Like, Sagaba Konate, like... I mean, honestly, he did.
He left, but we still got good work out of him.
We got good work out of him, but like, why did he leave? Like, why did he not come back?
Guys,
and that's a problem.
This is a problem with West Virginia fans recently. Such a one school mindset. Guys leave every program all the time for all kinds of reasons, and I like that Huggins wasn't just going to bow down to Oscar because that's not his style. I also like it because we are now seeing that the one and done shit doesn't win in college basketball. Gonzaga and Baylor last year were complete teams. They had the Gonzaga had what's his face one and done.
Jalen Suggs.
But they were a complete team that played together. The Villanova Jay Wright teams, the North Carolina team that won. These teams, Kentucky and Duke haven't been to a Final Four since 2015. Okay? So if Kentucky wants to take guys like Oscar and lose to St. Peter's, they can gladly have them.
No, but I'm not saying Oscar would have never been one and done. That's the thing. Like, there was so much raw talent, and that's the issue, is there's so much raw talent from the guys that Huggins recruits. Like, the guys Huggins recruits they're not meant to be fucking one and done. Deuce McBride might be the closest fucking thing ever we've had to a one and done, but the guys he recruits, they're not like instantly going into the NBA.
So what's your point?
So my point is, like, how do we keep these guys longer than fucking 2 years before they decide to either like not buy in and quit fucking playing, or like before they decide to fucking leave? Like, I physically don't understand.
I mean, this is a problem. This is not a West Virginia problem.
Nobody wants to play in the system.
Nobody wants to play anywhere. Guys leave all the time. You spend 2 years max at any school. This is not a West Virginia issue.
I didn't say it was a West Virginia issue.
You're blaming it on Huggins.
No, but I'm saying like
you're using this. You're using this to make your point about Huggins when this is not a Huggins issue.
The offense, it doesn't work. Nobody wants to play an offense that like physically doesn't function. We have 3 players right now.
Now you're not even talking about Oscar. This is my point. You were just using this to get it as a dig at Huggins. This is not about Oscar. This is about something else, and you're not even talking about Oscar right now.
I am talking about Oscar because Oscar.
No, you're going off. You're going off about guys that don't want to play in the offense.
You're trying to argue it's a Huggins problem. Huggins doesn't run a good offense. He can't manage personalities. He doesn't know how to do any sort of bench rotations at all. He plays fucking 30. He plays 30. Oh, okay.
He's always
this
played
year,
deep into the bench.
Yeah, I know.
That's always been his MO.
Oh my god. Oh my! That's what I'm saying. He's really bad at rotations.
So you would have rather had Oscar on the team fucking being a crybaby while 12 other guys are buying into the system. You'd rather have him as a locker room cancer like that, because that's what it would have turned into.
I mean, we suck this year.
What? So Oscar makes this team. What does he get? We couldn't shoot anyways. Oscar gets us like a couple more buckets. We got crushed by people. We still wouldn't have made the tournament.
It would have been exciting. I'm not saying that this would have been a good thing for our team, but I'm saying like having good players is good for a program, whether they're like a fucking shitty person or not. Like if these kids can see that somebody's putting up 36 points and 15 rebounds, you know, in like an important game despite a loss, maybe they're like, oh, I can come here, make a difference because this person was able to do this here. And look where he's at now. He's winning Player of the Year for a conference. He's doing all this shit for a conference. And honestly, like, that team let Oscar down. And if it wasn't for that team being so focused on themselves, they probably would have made a deep run. And it would have been on the back of Oscar Tshiebwe.
Noah stands Oscar Tshiebwe.
I don't
Huge Oscar Tshiebwe guy.
I don't stand Oscar Tshiebwe. I was the biggest hater of it. But I think, like, it kind of shows. I think Huggins was right. I think Oscar Tshiebwe is a snake. I think he's lied about the entire situation. Don't get me wrong. I think Oscar Tshiebwe is a little bitch. But also, on the other side of things, like, I can kind of see where he's coming from. And, like, he did end up in Kentucky, which is, like, one of the best basketball schools in the country, and he did end up showing out for him. So, like, I kind of, like, it kind of makes sense. So, like, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's just that Huggins isn't a guy that's going to, like, bend his way for, like, one guy. And, I don't know, whatever.
He's got to learn to.
Oscar is better opportunity, and this is happening.
It's about Huggins' time, anyways.
And this is happening everywhere. It's like those people that were posting things about this could have been our team. Deuce McBride, Oscar, and who the fuck else? Somebody else, and it's like
Deuce was always going to leave.
And it's like no shit. My whole life as a basketball fan of WVU has been this. We could do this every year. Guys don't stay 4 years. It's not the fucking 1980s.
Deuce was always going to leave.
He was always going to leave. Guys transfer. Guys stay only a couple years. It doesn't work like that anymore. And I promise you, every year,
like people are upset about Jalen Bridges and Cottrell. They were ass. They were ass.
Who gives a fuck?
That's what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck about them. It's more like, that's what I'm saying. Like, all these fans, like, looking back, like, they're like, oh, imagine this. Like, we have Oscar Tshiebwe and Jalen Bridges and Isaiah Cottrell and Miles McBride. No, we had Oscar Tshiebwe and Miles McBride, and those other guys are ass. Like,
do you realize, and like what people don't realize is, like, if that worked out for us and we had Deuce and Oscar on the same team and that applied to every school, do you realize how much nastier Kansas would be?
Yeah.
If Gonzaga had Jalen Suggs, how fucking it cancels itself out.
Jalen Suggs and what's his face?
It's just how it works.
What's the tall guy? The guy #1 pick.
Chet Holmgren.
Chet Holmgren.
If they had Chet Holmgren, Drew Timme, Jalen Suggs, the guy that went to the Wizards, and
the guard. What's his name?
Nembhard. They're not losing a game.
They're not losing
this year.
Ever.
They're not losing for years.
We wouldn't have beat them.
With Oscar and Deuce, we beat that team. We beat Baylor with all their guys back.
Trust me, I'm not like,
if Duke retained their one and done talent for 4 years,
it's AIDS.
We would never
win. Like,
no
this
one
is
would
why
win.
This is why I'm so conflicted. I've been off the Huggins train for about 6 years now, so it's not like a news story that I'm anti-Huggins.
You're obsessed, and it's weird.
No, I've quit for a while. I've quit for the past 2 years. For the past 2 years, I've shut the fuck up.
You've been.
I quit watching WVU's basketball.
You went into rehab. You checked in and you got off the stuff.
I watched WVU basketball for Deuce. I only cheered for him. That was it. But yeah. Anyways, that's a tangent.
UCLA to the Final Four. No, that wraps up the bracket. UCLA, my pick to the Final Four out of the East.
I'm gonna go Purdue because I should have stood behind Purdue the whole time.
You know what that means? Hammer North Carolina, because we're gonna be wrong.
North Carolina Duke, like we said, it would.
Oh, North Carolina Duke Final Four. Like, I won't watch that.
I won't watch. That will be one of the. That will be the most watched March Madness game of all time.
But everybody who
Coach
watched
K's last game. That's like pay-per-view.
Right. Like that'll be the most watched March Madness game ever, but by people who don't actually like or watch college basketball.
It's literally pay-per-view.
Like I wouldn't want to
Mayweather McGregor.
They make so much. They would make so much money.
Oh
off
my
that.
God, CBS is like dripping.
What's like the NCAA like makes their pussy wet Final Four? It's Duke, North Carolina, and
Kansas,
then Villanova,
and
Kansas.
Villanova.
Yeah,
Yep.
like that. They have to make that happen. That'd be the most watched Final Four. Or Michigan. Yeah. Oh, that would be.
Dude, that would be a
obnoxious.
fucking.
I really want Villanova to beat Michigan and get rid
That
of
would
them.
be so annoying.
I can't see Michigan beating Villanova, Houston, Arizona.
But then again, we couldn't see Michigan beat Colorado State, Tennessee.
It could.
I couldn't see fucking.
I know it's madness. It's madness.
Couldn't see Iowa lose to Richmond. So
There's a reason they call it March Madness. I wish this shit wouldn't get taken down so we could throw the future on.
Something we forgot to mention over on the East, by the way. The Virginia Tech shit was bait, and we caught it.
Yes, we did.
High five.
Yes.
We did catch the fuck out of that.
We caught all the bait games.
We did catch the bait.
Vermont, South Dakota State.
We called the
bait. I had South Dakota State, but against my own will.
The Ohio State game we called as bait, but we picked Loyola.
Ohio State. We called all the bait games, and then we got fucking throats
the
fucked
games
on
we picked.
UConn.
Yeah. The Iowa, UConn, Iowa. What was a big one?
Richmond. Oh,
yeah,
you
that's
said
Iowa. Damn, did we actually? Auburn, kind of, but that doesn't really
we laid
count.
off Colgate.
Kentucky and Auburn, 2 seeds don't count. More like the middle ground.
Even my theory about
We didn't even really. No, we actually didn't get fleeced that hard. We lost the UConn one and the Iowa one, but I think those are the big ones that we got fleeced on.
I even lost my. So do you remember? So like the day of the games, I realized what are the games that I didn't see a single person pick ever as an upset this whole time. I'm gonna money line 2 of them because one of them is gonna happen. So it was a reverse psychology. Akron and Jacksonville State money line against UCLA and Auburn. I fucking even lost that shit. You can't bet March.
Damn, you bet the wrong fucking.
I know. And I totally overlooked St. Peter's because I was like, no way, Kentucky's this is a Kentucky year.
I mean, that was honestly like a harder matchup than like Texas Southern was for Kansas, Norfolk State was for Baylor, Georgia State was for Gonzaga, and Wright State was for Arizona. Maybe not.
No, Georgia State's a better team than St. Peter's.
No, that's what I'm saying. All 4 of those were better teams than St. Peter's.
I absolutely love that Kentucky is just straight up they're not a good basketball program anymore.
They're a better football program than they are a basketball program.
And no one would know that outside of like college basketball fans.
Yeah.
Everybody assumes that like Kentucky and Duke win every year.
Yo, that's actually kind of crazy that they're a good football program and not a basketball program.
Yeah.
They have like guys in the league now.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of crazy.
Well, they have basketball guys in the league too, though.
Yeah, but,
more.
Yeah, but like they don't win games.
No, they don't win tournament games. They've even missed the tournament a couple times. They're not like Kentucky's not a problem anymore in the SEC.
That Instagram thing you sent me.
That infuriated me.
The who wins this Final Four? It's the combined teams of like it's like UNC,
Kyrie.
Yeah.
It was Kyrie, Jason Tatum, Zion, R.J. Barrett, and
Michael Jordan. Or some shit.
No, it was like recent guys.
I don't know.
And then the Kentucky team was all those dudes. And between those 10 guys, only one of them, Anthony Davis, had ever been to a Final Four.
And
but
he
no
didn't
one
win.
would ever. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he won a national
Oh, he
championship.
did. In
But
2014?
but we don't talk about
2015.
2014
14.
or 15. But we don't talk about that. We don't mention that.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
He did win. I forgot. And they beat them.
All right.
But yeah.
That
Good.
wraps it up. I'm so
Yeah.
tired. I don't want to fuck around anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything cute.
Yeah. It was a good episode.
Everybody bet UNC to the Final Four because we've got the other teams.
We'll be back next week.
Final Four. We'll go more in depth. I'll do some digging and get some fun shit
Well,
for
it'll
you
be
guys.
like 4 games. Yeah. Let's do a Final
So we'll
Four.
do like...
That'll be a good one.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
That'll be a deep dive. All right.
Good dive. That was a good talk, though.
Let's get some sleep.
All right. Bye.
Let's kick these 3-day hangovers.